day, everybody. It's Coetzer from Jubilee Metals Group. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for your time to present to you the company Jubilee Metals Group. It's a company that has grown tremendously over the past couple of years as the strategy we so much spoke about, and that is focusing on the recovery and processing of historical mine waste created over many, many years, producing metals and selling these into the market, has come to fruition for our group. And as we now enter the next phase of our company growth, as we diversify our operations from which mainly was based in South Africa into Zambia, from precious metals into base metals, as this industry is starting to mature and being recognized as a global industry, and that is the recovery and processing of the tremendous amount of mine waste that covers so many areas in the various mining jurisdictions. So what is Jubilee Metals Group? A brief overview of our company and what we are doing. Of course, as I said, we're an internationally diversified metals recovery business. We focus specifically on the treatment of surface tailings and mine wastes created over many, many years. And as you know, we are listed on the London Stock Exchange and of course have a secondary listing in Johannesburg. Our strategy is very defined and clear, and that is to produce diversified earnings across multiple commodities and jurisdictions, focusing on the recovery of these metals. We are a profitable company, rapidly increasing our earnings, as we'll show later our results that's been released a couple of weeks back. And of course, as I said earlier, we have got an exposure to a broad commodity basket at the moment, which includes the platinum group metals, platinum, palladium, rhodium, ruthenium, doing extremely well in the markets at the moment. Of course, we have a very large chrome operation, which supports our PGM business. And then we enter, of course, in this very exciting time for us entering into the base metal side, which is our copper business in Zambia, and of course, our lead, zinc, and vanadium project, which currently is in part construction and in design. Cobalt, which is a byproduct of our copper operations, also features in our current production portfolio. We as a group, our name is established in the industry, our performance has been recognized, the type of facilities we design, construct, and operate has been recognized by even the large mining companies, as we're starting to work more closely with these entities in finding solutions for even their wastes and various tailings they hold. Jubilee as a company have a very highly experienced team, well recognized in the industry. We have the ability to design, build, execute our world-class facilities that we operate. And of course, core to our company and the very nature in what we do is the reprocessing of waste and tailings, and therefore a natural outcome of what we do is an environmental component where the footprint created from historical mining is reduced through our processes. We deploy very strict management processes in our companies as we strive to achieve a zero effluent design within our facilities. Quick snapshot of the company and the market. Our share price has been performing well on its, basically reflecting our current performance of both our operations and of course our financial performance, as we've appreciated to beyond 8 pence per share, and very thankful for that support. The company is led by a very diversified board, which includes both technical, operational, corporate and entrepreneurial skill, a very strong and good blend of individuals. If we take a quick snapshot just of our past financial year performance, which of course is from June 2019 to June 2020 period, just gives a sense of the growth the company is experiencing. Key numbers that stood out, of course, is our revenue, strongly increasing yet again as we breached the £50 million of revenue, and followed quite strongly with the growth in our earnings, where our EBITDA sharply increased to beyond £20 million for this period, significant increase on the previous period. Our earnings per share also nicely growing to reach just north of 0.9 pence per share, as the operating profit of the group increased significantly as well. From a financial key performance indicator side, as we said, earnings per share sharply increasing, revenue more than doubling for the group. And if you look at the period from 2018 to 2019 to current period 2020, you'll see the sharp continued growth of both revenue and earnings coming through for our group. Operationally, the driver between the earnings currently, which have mainly relied on our PGM, our platinum group metals and chrome operations, with the copper currently coming into operation and not yet reflected in our financial numbers. You'll see on the PGM side, the top numbers there, 2019 compared to 2020 period. Strong margins on our PGMs. Metal prices also appreciating, so we have both factors playing into our advantage. That is the platinum prices, or palladium, specifically palladium, rhodium, and ruthenium, getting strong support in the market. But at the same time, the company expanding its operational footprint to breach 40,000 ounces produced for this past period, as we target to break 50,000 ounces for the next period. So one can expect another strong financial performance to come through from the group in the current financial period. Chrome is a very large component of the business, but a very small contributor in the past to our earnings. Our chrome we really see as our enabler of our PGM operation. We acquire chrome waste and chrome tailings, as well as we supplied by third-party miners who bring to us their ore. We recover the chrome, and our byproduct from our chrome operation, which is the PGM rich stream, is then fed to our PGM recovery plants, where we recover the various platinum group metals. What's reflected in this number is an interesting dynamic. A large component of the rapid expansion our chrome operations saw, where we reached nearly 400,000 tons of produced chrome concentrate over the past financial period, was bolt-on acquisitions. These companies had legacy contracts that we had to unwind, which in the current financial period will start coming through as we've changed the manner in which these businesses secured both their tailings and their run-of-mine supply. And you'll see in the current financial period that chrome margin growing to north of $20 per ton. So chrome within the current financial period we're in now, ending next year, June, will start coming through as a strong earnings driver for the group as well. Get more positive upward pressure, upward momentum in our earnings. One may ask, with this strong financial performance, strong operational performance, can this continue this growth? What's yet to come? I suppose a quick glimpse into the current financial period. What this graph tries to show you is the 12-month periods, which is the top two bars, which cumulatively was the previous financial periods. First half year of this calendar year and quarter three of this calendar year shows you the strong growth that's come through in the quarter that followed our financial period, where in the middle section of those graphs, where our earnings, operational earnings from the PGM ounces produced, already hitting 15,000 ounces in quarter three. When you compare that to the previous half year, for 6 months we produced 19,000 ounces. We now within 3 months already breached 15,000 ounces. Clearly well on our way to meet our targeted 50,000 ounces produced for the current new financial period. Equally in chrome, you can see that our chrome produced there at the bottom section of the numbers. Chrome in the last 3 months already breaching 130,000 tons of chrome concentrate produced, and as I said, at a larger margin than our previous chrome productions. So chrome equally well on its way to reach its 400,000 tons of chrome concentrate produced for the year. So just the South African operations, not yet touching on what we're doing in copper and in our base metals, well on its way to ensure yet another strong growth in our financial numbers in the current period, if you extrapolate to June next year. Quick, just some drawouts of the numbers. As we said, We spoke on some of these numbers, as we said at the top there. Our PGM operations delivering 40,000 ounces roughly for the past financial period, and that the company is expecting to exceed 50,000 ounces for the current financial period at an increased margin. Chrome operations delivering 370, nearly 380,000 tons of chrome concentrate. We're projecting in excess of 400,000 for the current financial period, and very importantly, expecting to do that at a much stronger margin in the current financial period. And then, of course, excitingly, we in the past financial period also acquired our Sable refinery in Zambia, which really set alight our copper strategy, which we'll touch on a bit later. Which operations Jubilee currently holds? The photo there in the background, that's the photo of our PGM operations, Platinum Group Metals Operations. We call them the Inyoni plant in South Africa. It's the first one we had built back in 2017, a very large facility and operating exceptionally well. Our PGM operations consists of basically two strategic partners. We've got Samancor Chrome on the one side, supplying us with the current tailings we had acquired from them, which is a base load for our plant, and of course Northern Platinum through the Eland concentrator being a JV partner for our group. That combined gives us a processing capacity of nearly 130,000 tons per month, roughly splitting into 50,000 tons through our Inyoni plant, the photo there on the slide, and 70,000 tons through our JV partner. We have approved a capital vote in Jubilee to expand that Inyoni plant from 50 up to 65,000 tons a month as we look to produce more and more of our own material and reduce our JV exposure going forward. Our targeted production per month has been set to 5,000 ounces of PGMs per month, which of course comfortably will set us on track to achieve our 50,000 ounces per annum. The number of 2020 financial period of 40,000 ounces said to be well exceeded currently. Our plants, of course, through our in-house facilities, our in-house development centers, ensure that they are world-class, high efficiencies, setting high bars for the industry and attracting more and more partners to us and to work with us as Jubilee is starting to take a lead in this specific field in the industry. Key component, as we said previously, in our group, during this past period, 600,000 tons of historical waste has been reprocessed and taken from unsealed storage facilities to areas where they are completely contained with no effluent leaving those facilities as we rehabilitate some of these historical footprints. Our chrome operations are very large, already established in the industry, targeting 400,000 tons of chrome concentrates for the current financial period and set to exceed that quite comfortably at the moment. We have a number of facilities and continue to expand them. Just in the current financial period we currently operate in, we have commissioned yet another chrome facility to add on to our capacity, and we've approved the expenditure to construct yet another chrome facility adjacent to our Inyoni PGM plant. We're constantly building out our chrome operations as we grow our access to both chrome tailings and third-party feed material, which of course has the effect on our PGM operations to project our earnings well into the future as we extend the overall longevity of our projects, where our projects now consist of tailings which we own and reclaim, as well as a significant component of our feed comes from various third-party suppliers as companies seek to get access to our efficiencies of our operations. If you think of a company making 400 to 440,000 tons of chrome concentrate per annum, it gives you a sense of how large our chrome operations have grown, and that of course, its byproduct of that operations is the PGM feed streams to our PGM plants. The South African businesses have reached a maturity that now has established itself. It shows that it can withstand volatility in the market. Our margins are well protected and our earnings are set to grow yet again in the current financial period. A very, very strong performance by the group. Of course, the exciting part now that lies ahead for Jubilee, now that we have established ourselves in South Africa, we've got a significant operating footprint. Our operations are growing, our performances are strong, our financial performance has been shown, of course, is our next step. And that is the next growth phase of our group as we move into copper, into Zambia, and into base metals into Zambia. Diversifying out of just South Africa focus, diversifying out of precious group metals or platinum group metals and chrome into the very exciting copper space. Copper enjoying tremendous support in the industry as the fundamentals all speak to a well-supported copper price as the demand for copper continues to grow. At the moment, Jubilee boldly moved into the space with the acquisition of its Sable refinery in Zambia, brought our refinery back into operation in December from acquiring it from Glencore, and started to produce copper as early as January of this year. As we are making copper cathode, photo there on the right is our product being made, ready for shipment. The strategy in Zambia is a replication of what we do in South Africa, where our refinery becomes our central station to refine and produce copper cathode, and we construct various copper concentrators where we process copper tailings, produce a copper concentrate, which is transported to our refinery to make copper cathode. We, as part of our process and as part of acquiring our refinery, our next obvious step was to ensure that we secure the feed supply to this refinery. And Jubilee has had great success over the past couple of months as we have been able to amass the access to 270 million tons of copper tailings in Zambia. And that doesn't stop there. We expect to grow that number well north of 300 million tons before the end of December this year. That mass amount of tailings is located roughly in 3 zones in Zambia. Each of these zones, we will be constructing a copper concentrator, where we concentrate up that material and then refine it to copper metal. We've set ourselves a target of achieving 25,000 tons of copper units per annum within a 3 to 4 year period, and we're well on our way to achieve that. At those level of tons, our copper operations can equal, if not well surpass, our earnings potential of our PGM and chrome operations in South Africa. The project comes yet again, as Jubilee is known for, with a number of innovations. We've taken a leading step in establishing viable, efficient copper recovery processes for copper tailings, showing the industry that this is opportunity of recovering copper from many years of historical wastes is real, viable, and can be implemented. We have received recognition from international institutions for the innovation we are pumping into these designs in Zambia. Of course, we do this because of our in-house ability through our development centers to pilot and test the most appropriate circuits through our technical teams that we then design and implement. Our Zambia profile, as we said, we have the vast opportunity in Zambia. There's more than 1 billion tons of this tailings in Zambia, of which we've already secured 270 and hope to secure more than 300 million tons by the end of this year for our projects. It set us well on our way of achieving our 25,000 tons per annum target. And our Sable refinery, which is now fully operational, has the ability to refine up to 16,000 tons of copper. Our first project, which we dubbed Project Rowan, is set to commence the production of its first concentrate early next year, as that concentrate is fed to our Sable refinery for refining to copper cathode. Our second project, Project Elephant, dubbed Elephant because of its sheer size, that this project has targeted an additional 14,000 tons of copper units per annum. And you can see that just the combination of Project Rowan and Project Elephant already gets us past our 25,000 tons of copper units per annum. And that excludes our recently announced third project, which is in the Kitwe area, where we've secured in excess of 100 million tons of copper and cobalt tailings. The three projects are being executed separately, where Rowan currently is in construction. Project Elephant has gone into the final design phases, and the Kitwe project will go through its feasibility phase on timelines roughly. Rowan, as we said, targeted to produce its first concentrates early next year. Elephant will go into construction next year, looking for 2022 to come into operations, while the Kitwe project will roughly follow between 6 to 8 months after Project Elephant in Zambia. How are we funding all of this? Well, Jubilee, as we showed, is strongly profitable, strongly earnings generative. We have a balance sheet that has grown, that's unleveraged, and that allows Jubilee to now access project funding and off-equity funding, where we do not look at diluting our shareholders to fund this tremendous growth opportunity that lies ahead for the company. Our investment case is one of low-risk global metals recovery business poised for very strong growth on the back of a proven track record of implementing projects and operating them efficiently. We are seen as leaders in our field in the implementation and the efficiencies we are achieving in our projects in the various metals groups. We are delivering significant and sustained earnings for our group at the moment. Our strategy is well developed, low capital, short implementation times, and a track record that speaks to that. Our internal technical and project teams are well established and recognized in the industry. There's a potential to take what we do as Jubilee currently in Zambia and in South Africa to take that globally. The opportunity is vast to grow this across more jurisdictions than what we currently are developing. We have increasing support from institutional shareholders, for which we are very thankful. Our retail shareholders is a vital component to the success story of Jubilee, and we're very thankful for that support. Jubilee currently has both the expertise and the financial ability to convert our projects into real profitable operations. And that really is the Jubilee Metals story. Thank you again for your time to listen to me and this presentation, and I look forward in engaging further during the course of today. Thank you so much.